The Roman Empire stood as an unshakable force for centuries, its legions marching across continents, its cities glimmering with wealth and culture. But by the 5th century, the once mighty empire found itself under siege, not from within, but from an enemy that struck terror into the hearts of emperors, generals, and citizens alike. That enemy was Attila the Hun, a figure whose name became synonymous with devastation. Known as the Scourge of God, Attila unleashed a wave of destruction that hastened the fall of one of the greatest empires in history. The year was 451 AD, and the Roman Empire was no longer the invincible juggernaut it had once been. Fragmented by internal strife, weakened by corruption, and besieged by foreign enemies, it was vulnerable in ways unimaginable just a few decades earlier. It was during this time of fragility that Attila emerged from the east, leading his fearsome Huns, a nomadic people famed for their brutal cavalry tactics and relentless warfare. They didn't just conquer, they annihilated. Attila, however, was not a mindless destroyer. He was a strategist, a diplomat, and a manipulator. He recognized Rome's weaknesses and played them like a master. With every invasion he demanded more gold, more land, and more control. The Romans, desperate and terrified, paid tribute to buy peace, but peace with Attila was always temporary. His hunger for power was insatiable. In 451, Attila set his sights on Gaul. This would be his defining moment, a clash with Rome's last great general, Flavius Aetius, and an unexpected alliance with the Visigoths. The Battle of the Catalonian Plains would be one of the bloodiest in history, with tens of thousands lying dead on the battlefield. Attila was halted, but not defeated. His retreat wasn't a sign of weakness, it was a pause before the storm. The following year, Attila launched a vicious campaign into Italy. Cities burned, populations fled, and the empire trembled. Rome, the eternal city, was on the verge of collapse. But then, something unexpected happened. In a meeting shrouded in mystery, Pope Leo I met Attila. No one knows exactly what was said, but against all odds, Attila withdrew his forces. Was it gold, disease, divine intervention? History is silent on the truth, but the legacy of that moment endures. No one knows exactly what was said, but against all odds, Attila withdrew his forces. Was it gold, disease, divine intervention? History is silent on the truth, but the legacy of that moment endures. Attila's reign of terror ended as suddenly as it began. In 453, on the night of his wedding, he died under mysterious circumstances. Some say it was a burst blood vessel, others whisper of assassination. With Attila's death, the Hunnic Empire fell apart, devoured by infighting and the revenge of those they once terrorized. Though Attila's life ended abruptly, his legacy lived on. His relentless assaults weakened Rome to its core, accelerating the empire's eventual fall. His name, once a symbol of destruction, became legend, a shadow that looms over history as a reminder of the fragility of even the greatest empires. The fall of Rome was not the result of a single event or battle, but the culmination of years of decline. Yet, in the story of Attila, we see how one man, driven by power and conquest, can change the course of history. Attila's legacy is one of power, destruction, and a relentless will to dominate, a legacy that reshaped the fate of Europe and hastened the end of the